What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Guild of Dungeoneering. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while and just take care of our little enterprise that we've started up. So it appears to me as though I was taking a look in between episodes and just kind of hanging out. Actually, it's been like 2 days, so I've been looking a lot if I've been looking in between episodes the whole time. But anyways, I was looking at my characters here, and it seems as though they don't keep the gear that they acquired when we played previously. If I go to my little Dungeoneers tab right here, it looks like they actually strip back down naked when they get out of the dungeon. Now, that seems to be cat-a-corner to what most adventurers would do. I know, among all people, I play a lot of RPGs, and my guys tend to cling on to their very expensive gear when I play RPGs, so I'm not entirely sure if that's the case. When I click on these guys, we can't actually go into any menus or anything to check, but they are in the nude right now, or at the bare minimum, they're kind of in their dungeon skivvies. So anyways, there's not a whole lot left for us to do right now inside of our building, except for expand 2 more times. And so I think what I'm going to go after, because I have a lot of characters who are, what is Trickster's favor? The Talisman of the Trickster. Wonder what that does. Do you put it inside the room that they're already in and it gives them like a buff or something? Or like, how does that work? We could go with the Mime, or we could go with an Apprentice. That might be kind of cool to go with like a Wizard class. We could also go with, now I also wanted to kind of probe you guys, and don't take that the wrong way. I kind of wanted to ask, and anyways, I wanted to ask if people wanted to see me level up my lower level guys, because it seems like you're going to do a lot of backpedaling in this game to get like, because we can't build every single section of our dungeon at the same time. My question is, do I have to go back and play low-level dungeons over and over and over again just to level up like the Apprentice and the Mime and all the extra characters that we get along the way? Because that's something that I don't know if I would want to put that on camera or not. It might just kind of inflate the series. It might cause a little bit of bloat, so I don't know. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Be very vocal about it, because I will be reviewing the comments to see what I want to do with this series. I definitely like to take your input when it comes to a new series like this. I'll probably go with, let's unlock the Apprentice, because I definitely, oh, he's got a 5 o'clock shadow. Hell yeah, he's got a V-neck on. He's ready for the club. Let's go ahead and throw that out right there. I have like one V-neck and I never wear it, like, because I didn't know the shirt was a V-neck before I bought it. I bought it on the internet, and then it arrived and I was like, oh, this shirt is a V-neck, and the V goes all the way down, like in between my man boobs. Like, it goes all the way down to like where the top of my stomach ends. It's the hugest V ever. It's definitely like a hold down shift capital V V-neck. And it's such an awesome shirt, too. It's got, like, a wizard on it that was drawn, like, in the old style. You know, like, with old shirts for Lord of the Rings and stuff like that from way back in, like, the 70s and 80s when it was really, really getting popular. How they would have, like, those weird stoner drawings of, like, Gandalf and stuff like that. It looks just like that. The wizard on it is so sick, and he's in front of, like, this big hanging tree thing. But the V-neck just ruins it, and I'm like, oh, it's such an awesome shirt if it wasn't for the V-neck. For a while, I pondered cutting out, I don't know where I want to put this, by the way. I should probably... We could put in like a church. That looks like those look like pews to me, but I don't know. I was wondering if they were called pews because they smell, because people sit on them all day. But like, pew, it smells like ass. Anyways, let's go, and it'd be hella funny if you could just make your base a big hallway. I might try to do that the next time. Just make my base one big ass hallway. I'm gonna try and actually keep all these guys lumped together. Eros.
A practical student who's always prudent, yet very pretentious and conscientious. Another nuisance for our amusement. I give to you an apprentice.
Hooray! We have the Apprentice now, and we have our first... Oh, he doesn't have a beard anymore. What happened to his beard? He shaved before he came to work. That's probably pragmatic. That was more than likely a good decision. This is why I can't hold down jobs. I'm like, well, I could have shaved, but I figured I would just come to my professional work with a big-ass beard or a handlebar mustache, which, by the way, I have right now. I shaved in a handlebar mustache, and not like the kind that just goes over your lip and then down. Let me continue to expand here while I talk. I got a handlebar mustache that like goes into my sideburns now. I've never done this facial hairstyle before. This is an entirely new thing for me. I have no idea whether it was a good idea or a bad idea, but over the coming weeks, we will find out. I will say it makes me look like an old man. The leather worker gives us the skull cap, the leather-bound tome, the mage robes, and the wolf pelt. And so, woo! Okay, so we got Holy Arcane Fire, Armor 2, Arcane... Okay, so that actually seems to be mostly for mages, actually, weirdly enough. What did this one end up doing? This one ended up giving me Scale Mail, the Scimitar, and the Soldier's Helmet. Alright, I'm just doing a little bit of a recap right now, everybody. I don't want to be like that guy that goes through and buys a whole bunch of stuff without remembering what he's done already. Let's see here. We got a couple of cool things in here. We've got a hand axe, which is quite handy. It'll give you a hand if you need it. I think probably by severing it from your opponent's body. You've got a heater shield right there. Doesn't give you fire magic, unfortunately. Yeah, there's the joke. I always thought that it'd be funny if you had a heater shield and it was just like your character holding a big like space heater on his arm with like a leather band. But I don't know, maybe that wouldn't be a good idea. I kind of like the cat burglar the best, so I'm sort of thinking about doing this talisman thing. So what does that do? Does it just unlock +1 loot choice slot after the first 2 fights? What does this one do? +1 to physical damage in battle after the first 2 fights. That's pretty damn good. I'm going to do that one right there. So where does that go? Does that just add the loot to the loot list? I bet it does. I bet it adds it to the loot list. Alright, well, let's continue out. We're all out of stars for right now. And so unfortunately our internal nemesis is crying and weeping and no longer firing rockets at people from off the screen. Damn you, Nemesis. It's a rough spot for me. I don't know. It's not that I hate Nemesis. In fact, I think he was probably one of the best nemeses that you fight in the Resident Evil series. But, meh, you know. We've got the terrible truth right here. We could go in a victimless crime. So we already did quest 1, which means quest 2 we should probably get up in here. I did like the bruiser before, but do we want to play around? Maybe I'll save Eros for... Oh, it's a blessing. Okay, so I thought that it was a piece of loot. It's a blessing that goes with you. Okay, so since we've got that, let's take Chadon in. I mean, I'd like to play around with the apprentice, but this is a level 2 quest. I suppose I could do a different dungeon and do the level 1 quest there with Eros. Alright, let's do a level 1 quest with Eros, and then we'll come back in with the level 2s. Although I did want to test whether or not you kept your gear. You know what, let's stick to one thing at a time. We'll do the terrible truth right now, and I'm going to take Chade in. Chade shall continue the adventure that she started. And this is almost entirely... Oh, you do lose your gear at the end of every dungeon. Okay, so our goal is to defeat the Mimic Queen. And the Mimic Queen is actually in the hallway that we start inside of. So, has 11 health, which means we've actually got to level up a little ways. We've got ourselves a crossed hallway right now. I will more than likely take that one. I'll probably put that in right there. We've got a level 1 Fire Imp. My recommendation would strongly be that we start leveling up and getting gear. So, I'm going to put something to punch. Indeed. So, we've got ourselves a Fire Imp right here. Not a Fiery Imp. This one is not on fire, nor does it have a fiery disposition. Instead, oh man, it uses magic damage on me. Poo on you. That's what I get, I guess. Let's go for Oi then. We don't really have much of a choice. Did 2 damage right there. I wasn't actually paying... Oh, Warrior's Guidance added... Wait, didn't it say Warrior's Guidance only kicks in after the first 2 fights, though? Huh. Alright, well, whatever. Let's continue forward with Oi, I suppose. I mean, if we continue... Ooh, that one stung a little bit, so... Why did she take 2 damage right there? Oh, good. Stupidity check. Fantastic. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Let's go ahead and punch him. There it is, and we might be able to finish this off and survive. I'm going to go for nice tri-chump so that we get the reflective spiky, and there it is. We killed off the Fire Imp. I think the early access, or I'm sorry, the early access into the dungeon that you're going for, I can still use those words. I was going to rephrase, but you know what? That works out perfectly fine for me. Go with the Cup of Joe, we can go for the ruffled shirt, or we can go for Rekindle. I'll go for Cuppa. I like DPS, and so we'll put that in our offhand for right now. I can move 2 spaces every turn. You can't escape me. Oh! I had no idea. Oh, no. Okay, so that's bad. No, don't turn around, you idiot. Don't do that at all. That's a terrible plan. I would strongly recommend that we get as much done as we can then in as few rooms as we can. And so we'll go over there and get the silver coins. Unfortunately, we might have to be a little bit more of an aggressive builder on this, and I'm not sure exactly how we're supposed to get this done, but we will have to figure it out. Let's go for you trying something right there to block off the damage and dish it back. He's frail. Incoming physical attacks get +1 damage. Really? That's pretty cool. So that's going to be a discard card, I suppose. So I'm going to shoot a Fire Blast over there, and we'll see what happens. Our hand has unfortunately been deplenished. So we're going to have to look for some card that'll allow us to get a few more into our hand right there. I'm going to... Let's go for... Oh, no, she's got a... Blocked one. Oh, never mind. The +1 damage allowed us to get through the block, so that'll work out. Paper Crown's going to give us Holy... I'm going to take Repel, actually. I think Repel's a really good call instead of the thing that we already had. I'm coming for you, murderer. I'm a murderer? Oh, man. That kind of brings this whole adventure to sort of a low point, doesn't it? Well, we've got a Fire Imp and a gold coin right there. I'm going to strongly recommend that we do something like that right there just to keep moving. I'll put a gold coin in that room. And then on the next turn, I'm not going to put in any monsters, and hopefully we'll be able to move pretty far and get away from that thing. We may have to fight it before we actually have the capability to do so. This may go poorly for us. Headbutt. I'm going to block that with Repel. Alright, so there's 2 damage done. We've got another Headbutt coming in. Instead, I'll probably just go after Oi, I guess. I don't really have much of a choice right there. So there's 2 more damage done. Luckily, we're allowed, or at least we're staying ahead of our opponent's ability to deal damage to us. We got a block in that. I'm going to do nice Tri-Chump to get rid of darkness, because there will be no darkness in here. I like everything to be well illuminated. The darkness is scary. It's not a place that I like to go. We've got a nasty attack coming in from right there. I'm just going to go with an Oi. We should still be able to outpace him, I hope. And so unless the next one coming in, unless the next one coming in is a 2 damage attack, we should be fine. And so there it is. We managed to survive yet again. I would say we should probably go after, we get Bash and Fire Blast, Tattered Mail, Counter, and Stupidity. I'm going to go for Counter because we could use the extra HP, especially if that thing has 11 HP. We need to have a lot more HP than we have right now. I am a tad worried. I don't know. This might be a little bit weird. So let's assume for a moment that I put the massive gem right there. And then we continue to put rooms in wherever we can to escape, I guess. Just keep moving. Wait, how come you didn't move 2? Shouldn't you move 2 right there? Huh. I think she said that she was going to go bam. I'm sorry, she said she was going to go bam and bam right there. But maybe you can only double move through locations you've already been? Interesting. Okay, well, that's going to be problematic to be certain. I guess I will consider... We're going to be fighting that thing on the next turn, so I don't know. And it's got a lot of abilities and stuff. This might not have been a good plan for me. This might have been a bad look. We're level 3. So maybe we were supposed to level up a little bit further. I might learn something here today. And you know how I try to resist that process. But man, it's too late to do it yet. So we'll grab that right there. If the Mimic Chest actually ends up running us down, God, we're going to have to play really, really carefully if we want to make that happen. Hey, we lucked out and got Repel again on the first attack. So that'll be a double damage right there. We've got Neurotoxin coming in. We got a Stupidity check sitting right there. Hopefully it'll get discarded. Ah, I didn't discard the Stupidity check. Alright, let's go for Counter, and that should finish him off, I think. Wait, shouldn't that have done... We blocked the 1 damage. Fury did it. I forgot about Fury, so half health or less, he deals 2 damage instead. We'll go get out of here. It'll be alright. Alright, so we gotta make, like... We gotta make some sort of move out of this, so we can get Slice or we can get Shift. There's the Glyph right there. I don't know if this thing's gonna use magical attacks or if it's gonna end up using... something nastier. You know, the Stiletto has been really, really good for me in the past. I'm just going to take that. We're almost geared up right now, so maybe we'll be able to take this fight. Okay, so there it is. It says the Mimic Queen is level 3. Ooh, it's got multiple layers of nastiness going on. Let's find out. We got a charge right there. I'm going to go ahead and block that with you trying something. And all I really have to do here is even out the health by playing pretty aggressively. So let's go with Oi for right now because I can't really block that, and I'd rather save the defensive abilities for... Yikes. Enemy appears to be playing a whole lot of magical damage, which might be the problem. I don't really have a whole lot of magical defense. So anyways, let's go for Repel right here. That'll give us another freebie. And we've got 6 HP. It's got 6 HP. We might be able to do something with this. I don't know. I'm going to use Counter right here to try and keep it even. Even Stevens. If I can block one right there, he's going to hurt himself, and then I'll deal 2. So we should be able to minimize that a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Exactly what I was looking for. And then I'm going to go for... How do you like this? All we have to do is ride this out carefully. We should be alright. I hope anyways. Bodies. Oh, we got Shift! We got Shift at the right turn! Oh my God! Oh, RNGesus, thank you so much, RNGesus. This is all about you. Our Lord and Savior, RNGesus! It allows me to attack first so that I could win. Otherwise, we would have basically had a draw right there, I guess.
Well now, this is just really quite surprising. Thanks to you, I've lost a wager. Against all odds, you're surviving. Next time, I hope you find more danger.
Like, you realize in terms of a card game right there how lucky we just got? Essentially, we just pulled out, like, the royal flush at the exact... Well, maybe not a royal flush, but we pulled out the straight right at the moment that we needed it to correspond with our bluff. Like, that was, like, one of those things that should not be relied upon. Only bad players would rely on that happening, and I relied on that happening, so... What is it? Oh, we got a new trophy. Okay, so it puts in... What is that right there? Is that, like, the... Is it splinters, maybe? And then we use wax to affix them to the wall? Either that or it's the treasure chest belly button. Who knows? Let's continue out of here. I think that... Should I expand? Let's do some expansion. I'd like to get all the classes, so I think I'll probably go after... Or we could save up, but still, I think getting a better variety of items would probably be a good call right here, too. So let's get the theater for the mime, and that's gonna... The mime's name is Mime? That would be like a roofer's name being Roofer.
Is there anything that's more soul-destroying than having to rhyme all the time? There's only one thing perhaps more annoying, and that would be an insufferable mime.
Why don't people like mimes? I've never I understand that people in performance arts dislike mimes, but is it because they're street performers? It's the same reason people hate silver guys. Is that like the exact same thing we're looking at here? Does it tell me my level of my Dungeoneers when I go down and in here? It does not. So what does being leveled up affect with your Dungeoneers? Because as I can tell, Chade is leveled up multiple times now and still only has 5 hearts. So my confusion here is growing slightly. Still, nonetheless, I've got a little bit of star power left, so maybe we'll go with the... Let's go with the leather worker. I mean, I really have no preference in between these two, and so I figure going with the leather worker probably afford me a little bit more HP, which seems to be what I'm lacking when I go into challenges. We'll put the leather worker right here. I'm going to try and get this all symmetrical because I don't like the way it looks when things aren't lined up. We don't have enough stars left to do anything else, so let's go exploring. And on this side, we've got ourselves a nasty-looking little cave where we can take in, for a level 1 Goblin Menace, we can take in Eros. And so let's try Eros out. Let's see if he can survive this thing. I have been interested in playing around with some of the magical things. Unfortunately, fighting with goblins, I bet they use a lot of physical attacks, so I'm sort of wondering if I just cleared the magical dungeon with the warrior, and then I'm supposed to clear this with the warrior, now I'm about to do it with the mage. I'm getting everything wrong. A fiery foray. Scope out Embro's defenses. The Fire Lord. This one is None Shall Pass. Defeat a skeleton. Okay. I'll probably go... Let's go with Fire Lord, I guess, for right now. And then I'm not going to play the Mime. Let's play Eros. And that looks pretty good to me. Alright, Eros. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, well, my imps will make short work of you. That must be him. He's got a pronged sword. That seems like it's going to be really uncomfortable if he decides to put it in me. Let's take that right there. We've got the right corridor for right there, right? Why won't that place? That looks to fit, right? Am I correct here? That looks like it should fit. Weird. Okay, well the other thing I could do is I could do that right there, but I don't really think that's going to help out much. That should fit right there. I don't know why it wouldn't allow me to put that right there unless there's some kind of secret hard wall right there that I don't know about. Let's play around with a zombie for right now, I guess. We might get clipped in the first part of the dungeon, but perchance I can write about this in my journal. You're talking about your journal. Why would you go that way? There's a zombie over there. Don't you want to hang out with the zombie? Oh, there's a fire ramp over here, though. Defeat 3 monsters. Oh. Like these 3 monsters or any 3 monsters? Because, oh, man. Okay, so go back over here. We'll start out with a fire ramp because it's low level, and that'll make my life easier. And then the next thing that you should do is maybe that right there. Apparently he's like Charlie Brown. He's Charlie Brown influenced. Good grief. You know, there is no character as uncharismatic as Charlie Brown. I really sincerely don't understand why Charlie Brown is so popular. I was talking about this. We start with Fire 1. Okay, Night Owl. 1 HP if surrounded by 5+ tiles. Oh, that's kind of brutal. Okay, so let's block the attack and then we'll send back our own. Fire Shield allows us to do a little bit. Yeah, but I never understood why Peanuts got so popular. Because, in my opinion, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I have bad taste. I just never found Charlie Brown to be any sort of charismatic character that I actually could care about. I'm just like, well, It's Charlie Brown. I mean, other people seem to be kind of excited about him, so I guess that's fine. I should have saved that for the next turn. Oh, good. You got a stupid chick. Wow, I can draw 2 cards. That's really, really good. Okay, well, let's finish this thing off. Shazawi, and there it is. Let's go ahead and see if we can pull out some gear for ourselves. The pigeon nest, the cuppa, and the fork. Let's go for... I'm thinking I would like... That's Flame Lash is really... Wow, that's really good. I mean, that has a lot of utility, and the 2 damage right there is cool, so I think that's out, and it's between these 2 right now. I'm going to say the cuppa. Being able to do 2 damage quick is fairly spectacular. Got a bunch of dread cards on this turn. Got a corridor on that side that I did need, however. I'm going to take a spooky spider and put that in right there. And then maybe put in a spooky ghost on that side. I don't think I've ever fought with a ghost before, so we'll figure it out. Fortis, Fortuna, Juvat, indeed. Is that what he said? My Latin is super rusty. As in, I don't know much Latin at all. Intuition and Spook. So we've got a little bit of damage coming in right there. I'm actually just going to beef up my hand variety then if I'm going to take that damage either way. We'll figure it out in just a minute. So we've got Drain coming in. I'm going to block that off with Fire Shield. Little bit of damage done. Taking 2+ damage in a turn causes 1 extra damage. Okay, so we got to... I should have saved that for the next turn. And he's got a blockage coming in. Ew. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit unfortunate. I'm just going to go for Fire Blast then, I guess. I could have used the Unblockable to the same effect right there, but I think we're about to lose to this zombie. We just don't have the defensive abilities that we need. And his HP seems really, really high for a low-level zombie. It said he was level 2, but he's got, like, what? I can't count good. 9. There we go. He's got 9. I mean, that's quite a lot. I think we're about to lose, though, unless something really, really good happens. Intuition right there. Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. It depends what we pull on the next turn, because we got Fire Shield to block that off right there. But if he pulls out anything else crafty like that... Oh, never mind. We got Flame Lash. We pulled it out at the last second. Oh, my God. Well, then, whipping it out at the last second appears to have worked as a strategy. We've got the Male Quaff right there, but we get double Stupidity if we take it. Or we could take the Skull Cap, which I think is going to be a much better call. It doesn't give us... It's armor, too, though. It doesn't really give us that much, does it? Ignite. If successful, +1 fire per round. That's actually not bad either right there. I wonder if that does... If it's like a hot... How long does that last, I wonder? Like, part of me just wants to grab as many... We do have hand variety, too, so I should be able to use Intuition to, like, replenish my hand and get rid of these things if I get them all in the same turn or something. The 2 HP is just appealing to me right now. I suppose I could go with Repel and Counter because we are lacking a lot of physical damage. Let's go for that one, I guess. Trying to round out my repertoire. That actually looks fantastic for right there. I'll take it. We have no choice but to deploy Banditos, unfortunately, in the next turn. And actually, I think that'll work out pretty well for us because I don't want to fight with Banditos. Banditos have been one of those enemies that in previous episodes have given us a lot of trouble. And so, I suppose we could simply exchange pleasantries instead of boorish dueling. Unfortunately, spiders aren't known for their conversational skills. They do, however, drink coffee quite well whenever I take them to Starbucks, so I don't know. Got a Fire Shield right there. We're not going to be able to do much with that, so we're about to take a little bit of hand damage, but that's alright. We got Flame Lash right there. I'm going to play that early, just try and get an early lead. I think that's going to be what we want to play right there to block the damage and then disperse our own. Frail makes it so the incoming... Okay, so we'll just go for... Oh, man, you got it again. 2 in a row. Alright, well, let's just go for Flame Lash. Not going to help much, but at least it'll get something done. We got Intuition right there. I'm going to play that to refill my hand again because we have a little bit of a lead right now with regards to HP. And that's going to be right there. Actually, I'll probably counter that like so, and then we'll be the hell out of here. One more spider smushed. Alright, so we've hit level 3. Oh, it was 3 of any monster.
Victory, it being such a fine fleeting thing, is often not to be found. Who knows what horrors the future may bring? So cherish it while it's around.
Alright, so that's going to be the end of our episode for today. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here for Guild of Dungeoneering. I've liked this game very, very much. I was playing it on my laptop last night. I was playing it this morning, and then I get to hang out with you guys and play it for a living now. It's kind of a weird thing that I transition from, I don't know, exhibition play to like professional play so quickly. And this is not professional level play, not to be confused, but I don't know. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Hi to everybody.